Hello everyone, welcome back to the 120th. If you've watched some of my other videos, you'll know that a couple of weeks ago I got a package through from Camera Rescue in Finland with 5 cameras of varying kind of states of repair or disrepair. This video was going to be about the Braun Imperial box camera, but I just destroyed it. I've just hammered the f*** out of that. Look at the state of it. In frustration, because it essentially got jammed, I couldn't open it, so I took a screwdriver to it, and that was the end of the Braun Imperial. Today is all about the Eura Ferrania, this horrifically ugly camera that is even more basic than that Braun Imperial box camera. So a quick reminder, we have a viewfinder that bears no resemblance to anything passing through the lens, just a straight kind of through thing here. On the lens we have a focusing ring with that much throw on it, that's it. This is the only other control on the whole thing, and you can see here 8, 12, F8, F12, F8, F12. But essentially what it does, at F8, the lens is clear, there's nothing there, and then as you flick that, it's just on a lever. So you go up, and from just up here, a washer, little circular kind of mask comes down, plonk, and just reduces the size of the hole that is allowing light through. F8, F12, F8, F12. This here is a single speed cock and fire handles. Cock and fire in one action, and apparently the shutter speed is a 30th. Got a roll of FP4 at 125 ISO. Should make life challenging. Goes in here like this. I'm going to stick the back on because, oh, there we go. Alright, so that's it. Squeeze it shut, push this closed here. So there we go, the Eura Ferrania. Personally, I think it's one of the most ugly cameras I've ever seen, and it's so basic that I really can't immediately consider a great purpose for it, but you know, let's see what it does. Let's take it out and about and see what sort of pictures it takes. Let's go and have a look. Right then, I've come down here to Severn Beach to record me taking this Eura Ferrania camera out for a spin. Edit! I've made a decision, and that is I would normally put the photos on screen in the video as I take them in the video, but this time I'm not going to. I'm going to wait till the end and show you them all together. The reason being, the results are very interesting. So we'll rattle through the shoot and then stick around to see what this camera did. Right, bye. Let's see what the light meter is saying. So ISO is obviously 125 because I put a roll of FP4 in it. Shutter speed is fixed at 30, nothing you can do about that. So let's just see what the light meter says about that here. What? F45 apparently. So essentially what it's saying is that it is way too bright around here. Yeah, F32. Right, well let's head down here and under the bridge. So I've walked down a bit further, and it may be that under the bridge here I might have some slightly darker conditions that can work. But I would not consider this to be a bright day. Overcast at best. Some quite dark clouds around. So it would suggest that the Eura Ferrania is a little limited in what it can actually do. I mean, I suppose you could put you know, like an 80 ISO film or even a 50 ISO film, but I mean, if that's what you're having to do constantly, just go around with 50 ISO film and you're like, as soon as you're indoors, you're basically screwed. Getting close to the bridge now. So let's give this a go and see how we get on under the bridge. Might shoot up into the bridge. That should be quite dark. See what the light meter gives us there. Let's point it at the bridge. Point it at that bridge then. Still give me a 20, well, it's still giving me F25. Let's take it up here. Let's point it at that bit of the bridge there. F20. Man, this is ridiculous. Oh, there might be some interesting shots up there actually. Let's get right up underneath here. Look. It's getting dark. Up into the top there, it's saying F10. So we'll try one at F12 and we'll try one at F8. It's the first one at F8. Next one at F12. All right. Right, so I've actually I've just spotted something which might be quite a nice photo, which is the closest I've come so far to being one of the available settings on the Eura Ferrania. So this is saying this column here, we frame just the center of it here. Light meter is saying that that is F13, so we might be a fraction overexposed, but that'll be all right. So we'll set that up for F12 and a 30th of a second ISO 125, and we'll see if it works. 3 meters, maybe a fraction more. Let's go a bit higher than 3. Let's go for like 4.5, 5. Oh, and I nearly forgot to set the only setting available to me. All right. Totally unenamored with this Eura Ferrania so far. It just seems like the most ridiculously inflexible camera. Essentially, everything in the whole world is too bright for this Eura Ferrania. If you're outdoors, you could potentially stick a 50 ISO film in it and you might be able to do something, but it's that 1/30th shutter speed that really shafts you. Even if it was a 60th, you might stand more chance, but this is bright sunlight, like you just can't do anything. I mean, I could hold a filter up in front of it, but that seems risky, you know, as far as kind of quality of images. What we got, what did I say it was? Frame 11? I'm out of ideas. I probably didn't, the camera didn't stand a chance. I was hell-bent on not liking it from the start, but now that I've had a chance to play with it and experience its inflexibility, I definitely don't like it. So I can't imagine anyone's going to bloody pay anything for it. There's no point even selling it. I'll just stick it straight in the bin. What a pile of shit. I'll take it back, see what we got. Go through the motions. Right then, that shoot with the, what I think now may actually be called a Ferrania Eura, but I'm not going to go back and reshoot the video. That shoot was about a week ago. I've come back, I have processed the film and scanned the negatives. And here is the reason that I didn't want to show you everything as we went along. I'm going to put up on screen now all the negatives together. And it's fascinating, and I was amazed when I saw the results after processing the film. Amazed for two reasons. There's two things to notice. Number one is there's a lot of variation in exposure, as you might expect. Limited control, and therefore you're not able to kind of standardize that exposure, so some are bright, some are dark. But the really interesting thing for me is we have, apart from the frames that I screwed up, we probably have 10 usable exposures. There's some overexposure, but it's recoverable. There's some underexposure, but that's also recoverable. And I'm blown away by that. I genuinely thought I was heading out with that camera to achieve nothing, especially after I took that first light meter reading. So let's take a closer look at the results. There's no doubt that when I was out in the open, it was very difficult to get an exposure. Everything was too bright. Now, one option that I didn't talk about on the video, which there is potential for, is pulling a film. So I could have taken that 125 and shot it at 50, or essentially shoot it at something other than the box speed. It's not a very common thing to do. More often than not, people push films and therefore get underexposed negatives. Another very interesting point is, so here we've got the two shots that I took under the bridge, one at f8, one at f12. I put them side by side so you can see what they look like. Fascinating things to notice here is there's just not a massive difference between f8 and f12. So I can only assume that this Ferrania Eura was designed as a budget camera, trying to keep things as cheap as possible and therefore with as few options and moving parts and whatnot. And you were expected to do all your work in the darkroom. Or alternatively, you choose an ISO film that works for whatever setting you're in, and then you shoot 12 frames of it in that setting before then, reassessing and looking at what film you might need for the next setting. Anyway, long story short, this has been a fascinating learning experience for me. Things I've learned here: number one, never assume a camera is shit just because you don't know how to use it. Number two, black and white photography is very forgiving. Number three, Ilford FP4 Plus film is very forgiving. Here's me thinking that I, go out and nail 10 out of 12 exposures, but actually, now that I've done this, I'm realising that I might not be getting many of them right at all. It's just a very forgiving setup. Forgiving film, and plenty of opportunity to manipulate negatives in the scanning process. So there we go, Ferrania Eura. Not a piece of shit after all. Who knew? Thanks for watching. Bye.